What's up, my dudes? MXGP3. What the hell's going on here? What's up, boys in chat? Let's get us some, little bit of short gear ratio. Little peppity in my steppity. Little Wednesday live stream, no biggie, no biggie. I actually do think this is the first time I have ever live streamed MXGP3. It's kind of crazy to think, but got a little Whip It Wednesday out here. You know, just taking it back to the best Milestone motocross game. No big deal. No big thing. What's up, boys in chat? I appreciate you tuning in. We're just having some funsies out here on the old MXGP3. Damn, look at that inside rut. Might even do a little bit of rut tester vibe on this as well. Haven't really decided yet. Let me know if the gameplay looks good, audio sounds good. We'll get this ball rolling. On the old Helen of Glen, you know what I'm saying? We'll get in there and we'll do some rut tester testing on some of these different tracks. I've done a couple little rut tester videos on this game before, which are pretty cool, but I want to try to go some different tracks that I haven't looked at yet and really take a closer look at it as well. The old MXGP3, dog. I don't think a whole lot of other YouTubers really cover this game much anymore, so it's kind of a cool little, at least a little bit of different content. I think the motocross gaming realm is kind of running into a little bit of a down period, you know. It's running into a drought content game-wise. Let me just look at chat real quick and overshoot that corner. Like, what are you guys even playing right now? I mean, obviously there's still MX Sim and MX Bikes, right? But as far as arcade motocross games, I really don't know what the hell anybody is playing right now. Like, would people still be playing Supercross 4? Really? I mean, really? At this point, I couldn't imagine a whole lot of people would still be. I mean, there's still a few people probably playing it, but I guess MX vs. ATV All Out did come out with that extra track. Ripping on SX4. Yeah, I think that's the deal, you know. If you're one of those kind of guys that don't really play on PC much, then I guess that's all you really can be playing right now is Supercross 4. SX3, yeah, I can feel that vibe. I see you boys in chat. What's up, boys? Appreciate you tuning in. SX1, that's a little yikes. But to each their own. Yeah, I think, like, if more people actually got on PC, once you get on PC, it's like, you pretty much play these kind of games for fun, and then you start getting more serious into the games like MX Bikes, MX Simulator, Reflex on the custom tracks, all that type of shit. You know, it's really where you really start to put some of that time into it. But if you're not really that deep into PC motocross gaming, it kind of gets like where you're stuck with whatever that newest, basically milestone game is on whatever console that you have. Because see, now the problem is a lot of console guys, they have like either a PS4 or a PS5 or whatever, and they don't really still have like their Xbox 360, which is going to have like your Reflex, the amazing feeling of Reflex on the 360. It's going to have Alive on it. It's going to have, like, if you're an arcade motocross gaming fan and you don't really play on PC and you don't have an Xbox 360 laying around, what the hell are you doing? Like, I'm just being straight up. I could do more arcade motocross console gaming on a 360, even to this day, more so on a 360 than I could on like a PS4. There's just so much better games on the Xbox 360. That's why I still play it to this day. Reflex, Alive, Supercross Encore. You can even still play Unleashed and Untamed and MX Unleashed. You can play all those games on 360 still. So that's a really cool thing. Sup, boys, just tuning in. Appreciate you. The old Spency boy back with these live streams. Sorry for the delay in videos the past 3 days. I've been in the process of looking for a better spot to put all of my shit. Like, better spot to have my setup at. I'm going to be going through that a little bit over the next 2 months. I've got my shit in a little office right now, but I'm going to try to get it in a apartment space where I can really get in there and start live streaming late at night and doing a lot more stuff on it. So we're kind of in the process of getting that done right now. But I'll still be streaming and uploading videos in the meantime. Sup, boys, just tuning in. We're out here ripping and tearing on MXGP3. Let's try to do a little rut tester vibe. Let's go. All right, I'm going to let you boys in chat vote on the track we're going to do a rut tester on. Okay? Let's get it. New track selection. You boys just let me know which one, boys. Let me know in chat what track we're going to do, like a 20 lapper on it. We'll see what the ruts do on it. I think I already did a video on, what was that? Twinchenthal, maybe? I can't remember. Already did a video on one or two of these tracks rut tester on. So, Lamel. All right. I think that's a sand track. We're going to do it. I don't think I've done a rut tester on this either. So, race options, 20 lapper. We'll put the AI on, I guess let's just put them on realistic shit. Well, actually, I'll put them on very easy so we can get out front and see what the track looks like. Just get out in the clear and really take a look at what the track's doing. Yeah, I just took the first dude in chat there. I chose his track. That early bird gets the worm, big dogs. Tea break. Alrighty then. We're going to hit on a little bit of short transmission. Don't give a fuck about suspension. Let's do this shit. How you boys been doing? How you boys been doing? The old Spency boy's been going through some tough times this past year. Not really tough times, just like annoying, confusing. Definitely ready to get all of my stuff together and get everything going hardcore again. That new Battlefield game trailer's looking kind of sick, not gonna lie. Hey, I said I was gonna get out front so we could see the track, so yeah, that definitely worked out. Some of these tracks on MXGP3, like, it doesn't matter what you put the AI difficulty on, you literally can't pull the whole shot from the outside. You just physically, literally cannot do it because of the way the like some first corners bottleneck in a very particular way where you just can't. You can't. Like, I'll even restart just to show it. Now, if I wanted to go in there and do qualifying and all that horse shit, then you could, but we ain't got time for that. Who the hell's got time for that? But, you know, it puts you out here on gate 69,000 and you can't really even, like, even if I tried to cut up the inside, the way that corner just naturally flows that way and just kind of sweeps around, you just cannot pull the whole shot there. Damn, there's a little bit of, like, random bigger braking bumps on this track that I'm kind of catch me off guard. All right. See what we can do here, boys. See what we can do here, dudes and dudeskis. This is, I do believe, somewhat of a sand track, so I don't know what the sandy-ish track is in this game. This may be it right here. I'm not sure. Hey, boys, I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget, Super Chats messages will be read in the live stream. And we also got memberships going. Trying to get all that back popping off again. We'll get it all rolling. It's just kind of got to step myself back into it a little bit. And it's just a process, you know. It's a process getting back everything live streaming again, doing all that. Once I get that ball rolling again, trust me, it ain't never going to stop again. Spency out here having his way. That Battlefield, new Battlefield game's kind of interesting, though. Might have to do a little video on that or some shit. I did not realize there was a corner there. So, it's interesting how Battlefield is taking the, going to more modernistic, you know, take on stuff. But it doesn't look super, super modernistic. Doesn't look like, you know, advanced warfare or anything. Which is definitely a sigh of relief. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Infinite Warfare was literally the worst Call of Duty in the history of mankind, and it's not even up for debate. That game literally felt like it was made by a couple of college students. They were like working on their first video game, not gonna lie. Damn, this is kind of a fun game. I just realized right now, this is a really fun game to just like play while you're talking about something else. It's like just easy enough to where you can kind of just like flow around the track, you know, you don't have to focus too hard. The jumps are not really all that complicated, you know. It's pretty good little game for that. Reflex is a little more, you got to pay a little more attention to it, you know. Can't look at chat as much when you're playing Reflex. Yeah, Call of Duty, man, they're going through a struggle with the whole like Call of Duty, the new Modern Warfare. Got to love all this bullshit where it's like you got to say Xbox original instead of Xbox One or you get confused. Or you got to say the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare or you get confused. Like, shit. That is so stupid the way they do their naming on some things. But, yeah, Call of Duty's going through that issue right now of, like, the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare had such good, like, at least in my opinion, I thought it had such good gunplay because I played it when it very first came out. And then all of the Battle Royale came out for it and just blew up like crazy. And so now they're in that issue, that spot where they've created this certain Battle Royale that a lot of people have kind of, you know, gravitated towards. But then they're still coming out with that new Call of Duty game, like, you know, every year. So it's like they're running into that issue where they don't really know. It's like they don't know what to do. You know, they've updated a bunch of the new Modern Warfare's Battle Royale with a lot of the new Call of Duty, you know, Black Ops game shit. But it's like, what are they going to do? Are they going to come out with a whole new Call of Duty with a whole new, you know, a whole new Battle Royale and then risk people not liking that Battle Royale as much as the, you know, the new Modern Warfare Battle Royale? You know, it's kind of like that. So they're running into that issue. Like, a lot of these Battle Royale games like PUBG or Fortnite or any of that stuff, it's just its own game, and it just continues to go on and on and on and get updates after updates after updates and last multiple years. So it's kind of hard for... It's almost like Call of Duty almost needs to make their standalone... kind of like their own standalone, which they've kind of done in a certain sense, but not really. But they need to make their own standalone Battle Royale and then just continue to update that and make it better and better and put new maps in it and all that kind of stuff. I think that's their best way versus trying to, like, have new different Battle Royales in every Call of Duty, you know? So either way, definitely see a little bit of a rut vibe going here. Not a crazy amount. I don't know if the sand tracks on this game are really going to rut up quite as much as some of the other ones. Man, I got on one of those tracks with a rut tester video, and it was like, it was making some ruts, bro. Like, surprisingly big ruts for Milestone. You know how in the new Milestone games, like MXGP 2020, where there is none at all. It's kind of funny. There actually is some in MXGP 3, so that's interesting. What MXGP game is the best? Well, you're looking at it. Nah, I mean, it's all like For its time, I think MXGP 3 was the best. For its time, no doubt. It has terrain deformation. The speed filling of the game feels right. It's not super boring. That's the problem I have with a lot of like MXGP 2019, MXGP 2020. They've slowed the gameplay down so much. The terrain deformation has basically become non-existent. You barely even jump off of the ground at all. And that's what's kind of killed the vibe for me on those newer MXGP games. At least MXGP 3 had a little bit of those things, you know? MXGP Pro did have an okay speed feeling to it, but then also came with a bunch of its own little janky issues. Obviously, the graphics have gotten better and better and better. That's no question. Like, MXGP 2020 probably has the best graphics of any Milestone game ever. It's even probably a little better than Supercross 4's graphics. But, you know, what are we just in the business of having really good eye candy games, or are we in the business of having good gameplay games and good, you know, actual gameplay features and things? It's kind of a Milestone. It's always going to be up there as far as graphical, but it's all in like what kind of jank to the physics you got going on in a particular game, or what kind of missing feature there is in a particular game, you know? This really don't seem like this track is doing a whole lot here, boys. Just gonna keep it completely real with you. This one in particular is not doing a whole lot here. Yeah, MXGP3 just, I mean, you can tell as soon as you get back into it, it's like, all right, this game's got some substance to it, you know? This game's got a little bit of a fun vibe to it. I see you boys in chat. I see you. Old Spence boy just out here ripping on the old MXGP3. I really don't see this track doing much here. If I don't see it doing much more in the next lap, we'll go to a different one. And I'm trying to get on a track that's going to get muffed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get on one that's really going to rut ass up here. Yeah, Milestone is EA for motocross games. That's literally what they are. So, yeah. Is what it is, man. And don't get me wrong. Is it nice that we've gotten all these Milestone games? Yes, it is. Because we very easily could have been in a situation where we didn't have any Milestone games at all. And it was just, what, MX vs. ATV all out over the past, like, 7 years? Or, I mean, I'll say 7. Over the past, like, 5 years. You know, these Milestone games have definitely given us more content, more, you know, motocross games to play and all, but that doesn't take away from, you know, needing to be honest about the games and needing to explain all the issues and the things with the particular ones when you compare it to better motocross games. You know, it doesn't take away from that. But still yet, yeah, I'm glad there has been more motocross games in general. You know, I'm going to be happy about any motocross game that comes out, but yeah, they have certainly went down the corporate ladder road of motocross games. It's all, whoa. Okay, this track's not doing shit. Let's go to a different one. All right. Let me try to just find one here. I have a feeling like Charlotte would rut up some. Let me take a look. Yeah, well, the problem with the Milestone games is, first of all, they started with, let me see. They started by making the street bike racing games, right? So I think it was a case of they thought they were just going to be able to come right over into the motocross gaming realm like super easily. And it was pretty obvious that you can't just directly carry over like street bike racing physics into a dirt bike game where you've got jumps and humps and bumps and ruts and everything else, you know. So I think that's why a lot of their early on games were like, you know, barely come off the ground, not jump very much. I mean, you can literally feel it in these early day MXGP games. It's almost like you're on a street bike in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of made it tough for them, because then they had to try to develop the whole air physics side, and they're just now, like what, 7-8 games down the road, they're just now starting to get you some kind of a leaning forward and backwards actual hucking system with Supercross 4. They're just now starting to get that. And an actual, like, really coming off the ground on the jumps, you know, that inertia in the air, jumping through transitions and jump rhythms, and they're just now starting to get it. So you just imagine, you know, it's taken them that long. So, but I think these Milestone games would have been a lot better off had they been coming out with one game every 2 years versus one game every year. And of course, now they're in the mode where they're coming out with 2 games a year. So it's basically impossible for them to really make proper improvements with how many games they come out with. Right? So it's kind of one of those things of, what do you expect when they're making 2 games a year? But it is what it is. You know, it's kind of like do you really want to waste your money on this one? Do you really want to waste your money on the next one? Man, I really thought they would have made more improvements to the track editor with Supercross 4 as well, but they certainly did not. And then actually went backwards with the terrain deformation. Ever since MXGP 3, I feel like they've went backwards with the terrain deformation. You can come back to this game and it's like, wow, there was actually a Milestone game that had some kind of terrain deformation. That's insane, bro. You know, it's like, what the hell? This is a pretty cool track right here, dude. I remember riding on this like when this game very first came out, and I was doing like some of my original videos on this game. That's cool thinking back to them days. Definitely cool. Can overjump the shit out of that. This one, I think some of the tracks are going to make more like sturdy style ruts. Some of them's going to kind of make more blowed out, you know, sandy style. We'll see what it does here. Whoa, get a little bouncy there, Spency boy. They just need to add pre-made ruts. Yeah, well, that's kind of the thing. They need one of 2 things, right? Either they need pre-made ruts and roughness, braking bumps, ruts going up the jump face, shit like that, or they need a good enough of a terrain deformation system that's actually going to, you know, develop that to a level on a track where it's somewhat of the same equivalent, you know. And of course, you can kind of mix it. You can kind of have a little bit of both, like, but they don't have either one in the newer motocross games. They don't have terrain deformation, and they don't have pre-made. I mean, yeah, they got a little bit of pre-made on some of the tracks. Right, I'm not going to say they literally have none, but like compared to MX Sim, you know, pre-made, and like Reflex custom track pre-made, I mean, it ain't nothing like that. Yeah, how hard is it to just go in there and put 3 little pre-made ruts in some of the corners and actual pre-made braking bumps that'll flip the bike over? I don't know why it's so hard for them to accomplish that. I really don't. But whenever you make roughness that's going to actually flip the bike over, so it, like, you know, makes you let off the gas, and then that creates skill gap because you got to let off the gas because you got the roughness, which is like the thing Milestone has been missing forever. It's like you got to actually have a developed enough physics system to where it will even flip over on, like, if you hit rough, super big braking bumps too hard. You know, you got to have a developed enough physics system for it to even do that. And it will do that on games like Reflex. Like, if you get on Sandwick and ride like 30 laps on that shit, trust me, you're going to be cross-rutting, you're going to be flipping over the bike, you're going to be hitting roughness and side swapping, and you're going to be doing all kinds of shit. That's one of the biggest annoying things about a lot of these Milestone games to me, is they don't create enough of that risk of just holding the gas down wide open, you know? They tried a little bit with MXGP Pro, kind of epically failed at that. It became more of a janky feeling than a skill gap crashing feeling, you know? It's kind of more like what it turned into, but Reflex was literally a decade ahead of its time, at least, bare minimum. Actually, literally a decade ahead of its time. Oh, boys, I need me a little tea break. Let me hit that pause button. Gotta get my mix nuts. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Appreciate you boys tuning in to the stream, by the way. All right. I'm going to keep the tea on deck here, by the way. What do I think of All Out? So, my opinion on All Out has kind of, I suppose you could say, developed a little bit over the past couple years with the updates and the DLC and the, like, All Out to me is a step in the right direction, but not where we need to be, basically. I can honestly say that I think they got a little out of hand with all of the, like, tuning shit to All Out and all that kind of stuff. It's like, I mean, if you've seen some of the people that have their shit tuned to, like, a fine little exact tuning system on an exact bike on a track, it's stupendous what they're doing on the bike compared to what you can do on just like a stock bike in the game or a stock tuned bike in the game. And that's literally never how an arcade motocross game has ever been. That's more like going down the road of how a simulator is, right? Like even Reflex with its endless skill gap and you can super separate yourself from somebody else and all this shit. Even still, it's not like you've got to have this exact to the clicker of a certain setup or tuning or whatever on Reflex to be able to actually get around a track like you're supposed to. You know, it's not to that extent. Like, if you're good enough at Reflex, if you got enough skills at Reflex, you can hop in there on literally a stock bike and fucking mob around a track. You know, you can do that. And I like when it's like that. I don't really like when they have chassis upgrades as well. I think that's kind of dumb. That was a thing in a live. You know, it was like when you're riding on the bike without the chassis upgrade, it's like you weren't even experiencing the full physics system of the bike, which was stupid. But then you get the chassis upgrade, then it's like, oh, okay, now it's actually, this is the physics of the bike. I like how Reflex, it's like no matter how you have the bike set up, you're experiencing the full physics of the bike. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing in there that you have to, yeah, the bike will get faster. Yeah, you can, get better suspension. Yeah, you can get better tires, but what I'm talking about specifically is the physics of the bike itself. I hate when there's a certain like upgrade or thing that you buy in the game or whatever that changes the actual physics of the bike itself, you know? And yeah, you want tuning to matter. You want tuning to be a part of the game and everything, but I definitely think some of these games can get a little out of hand with that for an arcade motocross game specifically, right? So I think that's a little bit of what happened to All Out. It kind of feels like it's all just based around what kind of tuning you have. You know, that's like that entire game at this point, because then you got to figure out how to get the bike to not bounce around. You got to kind of like, you know, curve around that physics bug of bouncing around all over the place, and you do that with a very, very specific tuning setup that people have come up with, and then that allows you to hit like way bigger of a jump in a certain spot. So it's not as I don't know, like I feel like Reflex is just so much more. You can just hop in there and have fun right off the bat. Like, the bike feels good right off the bat. You don't have to, even if it's your first day on Reflex, the bike is still going to feel really good right off the bat. There's a charm to that about Reflex to me, that I can go in there with a stock bike and a stock setup and be really fast in the game. I like that. Obviously, you don't want it to be like to the point where there's no improvement to having upgrades and tuning and everything. Obviously, there's a balance there, but that's kind of the whole point, is there's a balance there. Yeah, you can play All Out on the next-gen console now. But yeah, who the hell can get a PS5? I know I ain't paying double for it. I'm going to wait till that shit gets where it's actually coming out everywhere. I could have got a PS5 if I would have really got in there and been like worried about it and trying to get one ordered early and all that stuff. I just didn't care, really. There's only a specific like handful of games that I would even really play on the PS5. Only a select handful, and most of those games are just PlayStation 4 games that are carried over, like No Man's Sky, and there's a couple of them it'd be fun to play on it, but what would be sick is if, like the new Xbox, something that would make me buy the new Xbox is if you could play Xbox 360 games and Xbox One games on it. You might be able to do that. I don't know. Can you do that? I know you can't, like, I know it's like, I don't know. Can you do that? Can you play an Xbox 360 game on a Xbox Series X or whatever? I don't know. Can't confirm that one, boys. This track ain't doing shit. Let's go to another one. Alrighty then. New track. What's up, boys? Tuning into the stream. I appreciate you big time. Also, a little popping, hauling ass and popping ass and on assing. Any Xbox game on the Series X. Interesting. Yeah, I cannot believe for the life of me that there's not just PlayStation 5s everywhere in stores now. I was really thinking, because even when the PlayStation 4 came out, it was kind of like that at first. I was one of those idiots that waited in line for the PlayStation 4. That was back when I was real into the console shit. But I thought, like, you know, here in 4 or 5 months, you know, there'll be PlayStation 5s everywhere, but that's still not the case. It's kind of bizarre. This track, you can almost pull the whole shot from the outside. Not quite. Boys, we'll see if... shit, I was looking at chat right there. I didn't mean to run off the track. we'll see if my live stream can actually not cut off an hour into it. I was kind of waiting. That's why I waited a little bit of time between streaming since the last stream that I did. Because I thought I've tried everything I can to fix that issue, and I really think it's just something on YouTube's end. So I was just trying to give it a little bit of time, and we'll see if it fixed it. But the stream very, very may well cut out an hour into it. Yeah, so I see it's one of you guys say, let me pause real quick to look. One dude said, I think the bikes in Reflex are barely planted. Well, if you're one of those kind of people that's really used to these Milestone games, you might get that opinion, because these games have quite the feeling of, not as much in MXGP 3, but a lot of the newer ones, especially like MXGP 2019, MXGP 2020. Those games are like you're too much planted to the ground. You're like, you feel like there's too much gravitational pull, and you're barely coming off of the ground. And you're barely, like, the bike is not even reacting properly over rollers and, you know, shit like them braking bumps, because it's so gravitationally pulled to the ground that it just becomes boring. You know, you got to have a little bit of a lightness feeling to the bike on the ground. That's what creates actually causing the bike to rock forward and backwards over braking bumps, and causing it to, you know, actually feeling like you bounce up off of a jump face. Of course, you don't want too much bounce, but yeah, I mean, all I can really speak on is the way the Xbox, I mean, of course, I played a bunch of the PC version of Reflex as well, but the one that I really played hardcore was the 360 version of Reflex, and I'm telling you right now, when you really get into that game, and you're playing with a new controller, you got that stupid little handicap setting set on quickest turning in there, in the tuning. That's the only thing I think it like kind of changes the turning of the bike, which you can do that at any time. But as long as you got all that changed in there and you're riding on, I would say a 450, you still could be on a 250, but I'm telling you, that is the best feeling on a dirt bike in any virtual motocross video game, dirt bike video game, in the arcade realm, right? Obviously, I'm just talking about arcade motocross games. I'm telling you right now, Reflex, it's just hard to beat, man. And I think, like, some people play Reflex for a short period of time, or they only play it on the PC for a little while, and the PC version feels quite a bit different than the 360 version. So I think some people get kind of like a bit of a weird opinion on the feeling of Reflex, or they're kind of like, why are you acting like Reflex is the GOAT feeling? Like, why are you acting like, you know, why are you saying it feels like the best ever and all that? I think a lot of people that have that kind of thought about Reflex, either they haven't played it quite long enough, or they've only ever played it on PC. You know, they didn't really play it back in the day when it first came out on the 360. I think a lot of them kind of get in that sort of, kind of get in that sort of mentality there, because most people nowadays just buy Reflex on a PC because they don't have their 360 sitting around, and they want to get all the custom tracks and all the custom content. But what they don't remember is the game was literally made for an Xbox 360. So, and then it feels like it was even though they don't port to PC, that's what it feels like, because nowadays it feels like games are made for PC and then they're ported over to a console. But back during that like 05 to 2010 generation there, when everybody was on the consoles, it felt like things were made for a console, then they were just ported over to a PC. Like, Call of Duties back in those days were terrible on PC. They were god-awful. Like, have you ever tried to play Modern Warfare, like, fucking 3 on a PC? It's got, like, every issue in the world. Things were just better on a console back then, is what I'm saying, and Reflex is no exception to that. Yeah, the PC version of Reflex is good, runnable. It's a playable game, but what keeps it you know, above water is all the custom tracks and all of the custom content that it has. That's what makes the PC version of Reflex shine specifically. But it is certainly missing a element of the physics charm that the 360 version of Reflex had, and there's really no doubt about that. And if you played the 360 version of Reflex long enough, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'll have to, maybe one day I'll get one of the newer Xboxes and see. Damn, I'm definitely wanting to play that new Halo that's going to be coming out. Can't lie about that, bruh. I'm wanting to play that new Halo. I'm wanting to play the new Battlefield. They got some cool games coming on the way. But I just prefer playing on like PlayStation right now. I don't know. Xbox went through some shit-ass, decisions there with everything they did with the Xbox One. I just got a weird vibe from the Microsoft company when they started making all those weird decisions. And it definitely made me kind of become a bit of a Sony fanboy at that point. Of course, I loved the Xbox 360, right? Like everybody and their grandmother had that. I still love the 360 to this day. I love going back in there and playing like Modern Warfare 2 on the 360, like the original Modern Warfare on the 360. There's still a certain charm about playing a game on the 360. Even though they have Modern Warfare Remastered, they have where you can play Modern Warfare on the Xbox One with an Xbox One controller, there's still a certain charm, I'm telling you, bro, to going back and playing some of these games on the Xbox 360. There just is. Like, it's so hard for them to exactly replicate the feeling of what that was. Like, I couldn't get too deep into Modern Warfare Remastered for some reason. It just didn't, I don't know. It was just different to me, something about it. But I just love having that Xbox 360 in my hand. The feeling of the exact way those games felt back in the day. There's just something about that. But nowadays, like if I'm going to play a game like Battlefield 2042 or whatever the fuck, I'm going to play it on like a PlayStation 5. You know, I'm not going to play it on the new Xbox. Seems like everything is more towards PlayStation now at this point. You said you can't record. You said, Raphael said, I have a 360. I just can't record or play online there. Well, you can record. You just got to have a capture card that will record it. Like, I don't know what you meant by record, but you definitely can record it still. That's how I record all of my Xbox 360 shit to this day. And as far as online, you can't play Reflex online on the 360, unfortunately, but you can still play, like, Modern Warfare 2 online on the 360. You can still play, like, unless they just recently took that down or whatever, there for a long time, you could still play, like, just like a year ago or so, I think I was still playing Modern Warfare 2 and, like, World at War online. Of course, 99% of the lobbies are, like, some hacked bullshit, sparkles and whatnot, but you still can play some games online. I don't know if that changed at this point or not, but 30 dudes in the stream. What's up, boys? We're just out here ripping on some MXGP3. This has actually kind of turned into I'm just playing MXGP3 in the background and talking about everything else kind of stream, so that's basically what we're doing here. This track's really not doing a whole lot on the ruts. Let's go to a different one. I'm trying to find like the most rutty track in this game, the most deformed track in this game. Let's see. I'm gonna say here now, here, brothers. Let's try a little Mantova. All right. Yeah, that was the thing. I always like to try to get the console that I feel like more people are buying. because I feel like for whatever reason the games are made, like specific games like Battlefield or the new Call of Duty or whatever is made for that certain console, and it you know, a lot of times it'll get better DLC on it and stuff like that. That's the main reason why I would get a PS5 right now over a Series X, just because I know more people are buying the PS5 right now. That's strictly, and of course because of all the shit that Microsoft been doing. That obviously plays a part too, but I just can't stand the shit when these corporations think they get big enough to a point where they're going to tell me how that I got to stay online all the time, and I mean, that was just outrageous what they did, like, or what they tried to do, let me clarify. And then Sony come in and was like, what the fuck is that shit? And leveled out the playing field again, and then I was about to say Milestone, and then Microsoft couldn't get away with it. They realized they just can't get away with it. That having to be online all the time, that is so stupid. That is so stupid. And then there was something else that Microsoft did with the Xbox, these newer Xboxes, that I wasn't a fan of. I can't remember exactly what the other thing was, but yeah, dog, I'm bugging PlayStation all the way right now. But there's no Halo on PlayStation, so that's a big kick in the nuts. I definitely do want to play the new Halo. Shit. I did not see the new Forza. I do always enjoy, obviously, Halo and Forza on the new... Forza! On the new... Oh, you mean Forza Horizon. Oh, I thought there was like an actual new one coming out. Not like a Horizon, but a normal Forza game coming out. I spent a lot of time in those racing games, dude. It'd be cool to play some of that on my channel at some point, just to fuck around. Be kind of fun. Give me a 1 in chat if I should branch out my channel a little bit and every once in a while play some games like car racing games and fucking monster truck games, and I don't know. Give me a 1 in chat if you think I should or shouldn't. Give me a 1 if you think I should. Give me a 2 if you think I shouldn't. Obviously, I'm still going to be doing motocross no matter what, but I would just add that on top for fun. Interesting. I did do a couple videos way back in the day on shit that may have been one of the Forza games. I can't remember. I think it actually was. I got in there and I was like drifting around on like it might have been like a Nissan Skyline. I don't know what it was in the shit, but it was like raining on the track and I was like sliding it around. It was kind of fun. What's up, boys in chat? All right, we got about 69 ones in chat. The Spency boy branching out. Spency boy about to be branching out. Yeah, I think whenever you like kind of build a channel around racing of any kind, obviously my channel is built around motocross games, it's a lot easier to segue into then like car racing games or street bike racing games or, you know, Grand Theft Auto or something along those lines. It's a lot easier to transition into things like that have racing in and amongst them versus like trying to transition into first-person shooter stuff or RPG stuff or whatever. You know, it's quite a bit more difficult to do that when your channel kind of gets known as a certain thing. But I certainly have big intentions to branch out and play a lot more different kind of games. We ain't never stopping that motocross shit, though, dog. That's for life. To a Ronnie Mac special. Oh, man. That was a lot of fun when I did that at Ronnie Mac video on MX Sim. That was a good old time. I don't even think I still have that bike or gear or anything. I had it on my old PC, but got it there on the old CR250 Ripper. It's kind of fun trying to be Ronnie Mac on MX Sim and trying to, like, you know, ride the bike all silly and shit. It's actually pretty fun. Well, boys, this track is not doing a whole lot either. Wow. A little shocked by that. I mean, it's doing some, obviously, but not anything that's going to blow your socks off. Of course, they still did have some outside berms on this game. Do cool shit like jump to the moon and back. Go to Matterly. All right, let's see what we got here. See what we're cooking up here. Let's see what the Spency Boy's whipping up. I appreciate you guys tuning in to another stream, though. We're getting the channel rolling again, dudes and dudeskies. A little Grand Prix action, a little Grand Prix. Right here, all right. Okay, that's it, yes. I actually made a video or two on that Descenders game, I believe. Made like 1 or 2 on it. The Descenders, to me, was kind of... There's definitely a lot of like games on Steam that I could see myself playing a little bit, but not like a real amount of time, you know? Oh... Yo, who's winning this next 450 motocross race, though? Who gonna win it? I guarantee you 90% of people in the comments are gonna say Ken Roxon. Oh, let me get ramrodded. I'm looking at chat, sorry. Moto Maker. Bro, if we could play some multiplayer MXGP 3, that would be the shit. We may actually be able to do that, but I don't even know how the fucking servers work in this game nowadays. The Moto Make out here, the Dudeski. Yo, boys, become a Dudeski today. Help the Spency Boy out. We're trying to get the memberships going. All you got to do is hit that join button, and it'll let you know everything that you get. I only have 1 tier of memberships, and it's really simple and easy, and you get an invite to the Dudeski role in my Discord. It just kind of gets you in another level of my community here. That's definitely something that drives me to live stream, though, is super chats and memberships. That's a big thing, dude. Like, obviously, if I was really only doing this for money, I would have quit like 5 years ago. But it's a nice little thing to keep you going when you're a smaller content creator, and you can make quite a bit of decent money by streaming compared to just uploading videos. Yeah, I don't even know how to play multiplayer on the... And, you know, when it starts getting back in these old of Milestone games, I don't even know if they had dedicated servers. I don't know any of that shit. I do want to go in there and do some Reflex on PC multiplayer shit streams at some point. Sup, boys tuning into the stream. I appreciate you. The old Spency Boy out here on the best Milestone motocross game. Let's just keep it real right now. And if you don't think that, go back and play this shit. Get on a fast bike, actually, you know, mod the bike out and all that. Get on a track that's got a little bit of deformation going. I'm telling you, bro, you'll be pleasantly surprised at how good this, compared to the newer Milestone motocross games, how good this game was back then. Bizarre, dude. I never thought we would all be looking back at MXGP 3. Of all the games, I never thought. Never thought in a million years. Of course, this is still not even close to Reflex or anything like that. Certainly. But when you compare it to these newer... And the thing is, you just expect more and more the more Milestone motocross games that they come out with. You know, when you take that into account, it's like unacceptable the terrain deformation that's in MXGP 2020 and the barely coming off of the ground slow feeling of MXGP 2020. That's where it just becomes unacceptable because they didn't even have those issues in this game all the way back in MXGP 3. That's what makes it like, what the hell? What's my current favorite motocross game? Well, I still play MX Simulator like it's MX Simulator 2017 before the erode, because obviously I mainly play that game in single player, and trying to play in single player with the road is literally a joke in that game. So, but I still like to play MX Simulator like it's 17 and playing on tracks without trying to mess with the road and all that. I still have a really fun time with that. Obviously still play some MX bikes. Still love Reflex, you know. It's kind of where I'm at on that. I've kind of fell out of playing Supercross 4. I don't really play that much anymore. I'm ready for one of these official Supercross games to come out and actually like really give us some next level content or next level track editor improvements and shit, you know. I'm really ready for something like that to happen. What's my favorite manufacturer? Well, listen up. Here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world, and all day and all night, everything he sees is just blue, like him, inside and outside. Blue his house, and a blue little window, and a blue Corvette, and everything is so blue. Just a little, you know, just a little. Had to hit him with it. Oh, man. Came off the top with that one, boys. Came off the top of the dome with that one. All right, let me shut this door. Of course, it's literally like 1,000 degrees outside, so I've got air conditions going. My PC's trying to cool itself off. I got fans going. I'm like, damn it. I'm trying to record here. Oh, man. I really, like, if I could think of the perfect computer setup, I mean, I just don't see how, like, I think at some point I'm going to have to get liquid cooled on a PC. When I really start getting my sound stuff set up right and I'm in a soundproof room and stuff like that, I'm going to have to get a liquid cooled. Because that is so annoying having to deal with air conditions kicking on and kicking off. It's not that big of a deal in winter time, but summertime, it's a bitch. Okay. Weirdly enough, this track is not doing a whole lot either. What the f... Been on like 4 or 5 different tracks here, and I just not... Maybe I'm not riding enough laps on them. Let's try to run a few more on this, and we'll see. I mean, yeah, it's doing some, but there was one track I was on that, I mean, it actually dug a physical rut on it. I can't remember exactly which track that was, but I did a rut tester video on it, and I literally dug a inside rut. Just letting you guys know, I do read off super chat messages, even if it's like a $1 donation. I still read it off, so appreciate all that support. It justifies me streaming more whenever I get more super chats and memberships. It certainly justifies it. Because even if I only get like $5 or $10 worth of donations in a particular stream, that's still more than I would have made typically on, you know, most singular videos that I would have made. What's up, CJ? What's up, Doug? Obviously, if a video gets like more than 10,000 views, it'll make more than that, but most of the time, it's not going to make that much on a video. So it justifies me streaming one day over making a video one day. You see what I'm saying? Sup, boys, just tuning in the chat. I see you. I see you. We out here on the old, just having a little funsies on MXGP 3. Kind of a cool little sweeper corner right there. I like this jump down the hill, too. It's pretty sick. Okay. Oh, okay. Of course, this game has a shitload of grab in the corners, like as far as the yeah, I will be doing a MX Simulator stream too soon, and I got some MX Sim vids on the way as well. I know it's been a while since I played any MX Sim, but I will be getting back into that, no doubt. The old Barneasy out here with the $1.69 super chat. What a legend. If he dies, he's a legend. Barneasy's the one. By the way, on top of that, Barneasy's been a member for like 8 months, so he's on another level. He's on another level out here. That's why when Barneasy calls me up and he's like, hey, dude, let's play some games. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, let's play some games. I like how in this motocross community, like, it's cool how you can make some lifelong friends, you know? Pretty sick. Never thought I'd make, like, certain lifelong friends off of playing fucking MX Simulator. Of course, having an MX Simulator team kind of creates that as well. Dude said he just bought this game on PlayStation Network for $3. What the fuck? You bought this shit for $3. I guess go get you a deal on MXGP 3. $3, dude. PSN. Would this have been on PS4 or... Yeah, I think this would have been on PS4, right? Barneasy out here at the jokes. Yeah, oh man, me and Barneasy we're always fucking with each other, always joking around. People won't understand me and Barneasy joking around at all. We're both like sarcastic on another dimension, and when we both get to going with it, it's another level, dog. Yeah, even though I do have the Dude Ski memberships and shit like that, I want to go in there and play on my Discord just in like my general chat and stuff, so you don't necessarily have to be a Dude Ski member. I want to start doing a lot more of that, and then every once in a while go in there and just play in my Dude Ski chat and kind of give more to that. Once I get more members, it'll make a little more sense for me to do that, but kind of just getting that ball rolling again here. Getting a little bit of rut vibe going in that corner. Yeah, a little bit of rut vibe going in that corner. Barneasy just bought me a taco for the day. Big dog status. He bought me a box of Planters mixed nuts for the day. It's all good. Computer fans are going. Keeping my PC cool. Thanks, computer. Appreciate you. Taco Wednesday. It's a vibe. Did the stream freeze? Let's see. I think it did. It's amazing. Game froze. A week later, the game froze. Woo! Yeah! Yeah, the stream froze. It's so cool. So much fun. I waited a week to see if, YouTube would like work out their kinks. No. All right, guys. Well, I apologize for that. That's it for this stream. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back on that next one. I literally don't know what the hell to do at this point. I've changed modems. I've updated drivers. I've updated recording software. I've literally done everything. And I just I can't figure it out. My CPU is not over usage or whatever you want to call it. Literally, like, I checked my my CPU usage and it was on like 18% the last time I was streaming. So it's more than enough. I have no idea what the hell. All I can think of is it might be my capture card, because my capture card is getting a little bit on the older side. That's all I can think of, boys. So I'll have to buy a new capture card, the exact kind of capture card that I have, and just go from there, and we'll see if that fixes it. But either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. We'll be back on that next stream.